What's going on? This is David W. Williams, also known as Diamond Dave, the founder of the highest paid part-time job in the world options trading course. And so what we're going to do really quickly is talk about or ask a particular question that we can go into a deeper issue that challenges a lot of options traders, right? And so the question is that, do you want to be right or do you want to make money as an options trader? And so what I mean by that is that, are you looking to make yourself right in every situation in the market? Or are you trying to figure out how to be profitable, and most importantly, how to generate profit with the least amount of risk? So this is going to be a really good video for options traders, but it also could be a good video for day traders, swing traders, and anybody that does any type of trading in the market. And the reason why it's a really good video is because one of the biggest challenges people have in the market is that they have an assumption, they have an analysis, they have a forecast, and then they bring that into the market, and they are looking for the market to make them right about, what they think is going on inside their head. And because the challenge is that because before they ever came into the market, what's going on, Kimberly? They've always had this desire to be right. So what they spend a lot of time in their life doing is trying to figure out how I can create a scenario, right, to essentially prove my hypothesis correct. So what you're really supposed to do in science is you're supposed to create a hypothesis, and you're supposed to look for evidence that's going to make your hypothesis wrong. What the average person is doing is they come up with a hypothesis or a theory, and now they only look for evidence that's going to make them right. Okay? Now, the reason why this can harm them when they go into the options market is because there may be no evidence that makes them right. So then what they'll do is that they will stay into a play after the play has already gone against them, hoping that they can make themselves right. And so let's say you go into a situation, you put $100 into a particular trade, and you may set a stop loss of 30%, right? So if you lose $30, you want to exit. However, as you get closer to the 30%, you start feeling this urge to stay into the play, right? Because you want to be right. And I deal with this all the time. I deal with it in real life, but I deal with this a lot of times on social media because you have the ability to scale out to a large amount of people. And one of the things that I deal with them a lot is that they have this really, really strong desire to be right and to express the fact that they're right. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. One is that the majority of people, when they go to work, nobody cares what they think. Their job is just to do the job. So outside of where they spend the majority of their time, they now have this desire to try to validate, right, their point of view or their perspective by trying to be right in every situation. The challenge is when you bring that into the markets will punish you because you have to understand that if you are wrong about something, the best thing to do from a risk management standpoint, right, is to exit the situation. But many people in a desire to try to prove themselves right will stay in a situation that is going against them, hoping, right, that it will turn around and they could have shown that, you know what, I was right about this the whole time. And this is one of the reasons why so many people fail as traders. It's not the fact that they lack information. It's not the fact that they lack an understanding of the markets. It's the fact that they have a psychological issue, right, that they brought into the market where they want to make themselves right. And that's the issue that they should work out with a therapist. The market can't solve that issue. Okay? But the challenge is that if you bring that particular challenge or issue or frailty into the markets, how the market will punish you is it will make you start to lose money. And then what happens to the average person is once they hit a certain threshold of money loss, they leave the markets and say, you know what, that's not right for me. That's not a good situation for me to be in because it's not a scenario in which I can make myself seem right. So once people get outside of their job, they're looking for situations in which they can be right, in which they can show themselves to be correct in every situation. You see this a lot on social media. People go back and forth all day over stuff that don't even really make no sense. But it makes a lot of sense to them because they want to be right in the situation. So they're endeavoring to prove to somebody else that I'm right and you're wrong. But when you go into the market with that kind of mentality, the market will continue to punish you. And what happens to most people is they just exit. So this is what I recommend to people. Don't look for the market to make you right, right? Your job is to figure out first how to manage risk, how to preserve capital, and then how to make money, right? So if you're making money, right, then you're right. So don't look for the result. Worry about the process. So how do I work the process to put myself in the best position to be successful and stop trying to make sure that the result goes the way you want it to go? You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Because you may not be right in a lot of situations. So your job is once you realize that you may have analyze the situation incorrectly, your job is to exit as fast as possible, not trying to hang around because you want the market to make you right, because you have this really longing in your heart or in your psychology to want to try to be right in this situation because you want the market to validate your intelligence, right? That's going to cost you a lot of money if you try to do that. And so because you have this desire to have this external situation validate your intelligence and who you are, but I know where you get that from, because you spent your whole life going to school in which a grade or a class was supposed to validate your intelligence. So you've been programmed to look for these external things that validate how intelligent you are. Or you took a test and the test said you were smart, so I guess I'm smart. So all of this programming is built up inside of you, so that when you go into the markets, what do? You just execute the programming. Always come into the situation knowing what your exit is. And when you get to your exit, it's time to leave. Whether you looked at the situation the right way, whether you look at the situation the wrong way, that's not important. The most important thing is that you exit and you preserve your capital, because if you don't, you're going to go through a lot of money trying to make the market validate your intelligence or make the market make you right about every situation. So that's what I want you to understand, right? The market is a terrible place for you to work out your psychological challenges. It's just going to continue to punish you. You need to work out your psychological challenges with a mental health therapist, right? Stop looking for these external places, right, to work out your psychological challenges. They're just going to keep punishing you, and you're never going to get a solution to your problem. So when you realize that you have psychological issues, if you can't recognize them, ask somebody that may be close to you, where you start respecting their counsel. I would really encourage you to go to a professional who deals with, right, helping people overcome their psychological issues. So then when you go into the market, you have a great psychological foundation. You're very rooted and solid in yourself, and you're not looking for the market to make you feel good about something that you may have been carrying over the past 20 years. So if you got any questions with this, hit me up in the comments. If you know somebody that can get value from it, share it out to them. This is David W. Williams, also known as the Diamond Dave. And if you want more information on the highest paid part-time job in the world, and how you can use that particular program to, one, get your time back, and to also replace the income from your job so you're not a slave to that particular system or process, reach out to me, let me know, and we can talk about it. This is David W. Williams. I'll talk to you later.